everybody, and welcome to the TTV Podcast, episode 290. I'm Meso.
I'm Var.
I'm Eljay.
I'm Phweffie.
I'm Tenebrain Victus.
And I'm Deadmatoro.
Speak, I can't hear you. The music's too loud.
And I'm Deadmatoro.
Yeah, there we go. Much better.
You did it!
Another one!
Deadmatoro.
Epic music. Cue the music.
Oh, cue the music? Okay.
Wait, no,
Wait,
oh,
no,
not again.
Please. No, please.
Not like that. I mean, it was like, he was about to sing out and be quiet. It's still loud.
It's okay. We're good, Var. We're good. We got it. We're good.
Alright, you louder? Okay.
No,
All right. So, hey, everybody. TTV. How's
Hi.
everybody doing?
I'm doing good, dude.
Okay.
Life's just great. I'm finally back on the show. It's been like a month and a half since my whole fun journey with X.
Oh, yeah.
Doing those recording.
Good
It's nice to be
times.
back.
Rip Lego Live. Also, officially welcoming the one, the only, Deadmatoro to the podcast. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How about you, Meso?
I'm doing pretty good, Matoro. Thanks for asking.
Whoa. Meso's the one asking the questions here.
No one's ever asked Meso, mind blown.
That's true. I'm like, it caught me off guard for a second. I was like, I'm not used to this. And how are you, Phweffie? It's been 100 years for you, too.
Oh my gosh, it has been.
I was okay when I was last on. Still okay.
Nice.
I was okay, then I showed up.
And now I'm not okay.
Everything is not okay.
Yeah. Everything's not okay.
And Eljay, you're still here? You're
Yeah.
not fired again yet? How are you doing?
Are you gonna make this a thing where every week you're gonna say, "Oh, so you're not fired yet"?
Weeks
How you
that
doing?
Eljay hasn't been fired. 3.
Walking
Days
that
of-
thin line, man.
Days without an incident.
Without incident.
So,
Yeah, no, this is crazy. That where we're 10 away from 300, we have a new host, and Phweff's here again, and Invi's talking. This is nuts.
Main just
Whoa. Okay.
Like,
Time to go back into the shadows.
Oh, come back.
No longer affiliated with the TTV channel again.
Oh, no.
I'm no longer affiliated with the TTV Podcast. Mute.
Rip.
Aw,
Mutes channel.
No longer affiliated with Life. Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye forever.
Don't say these things.
These
Anyway.
things.
Just do
So,
it.
this is also the biggest podcast we've had in a bit. And I find that
Yeah.
it's been a while.
both in terms of cast size and also live studio audience attendance. So thank you for that. I'm glad to see everybody's out here.
You're
Having a
welcome,
fun
Meso.
time. Oh my god.
Get out. New
Purple!
audience member.
Someone hear a
Purple
ghost.
dragon.
Purple's lurking in the back. Like, she's
It's like
inhabiting
like
Invi's
photo
usual
bombing, but it's like podcast bombing.
Audio bombing.
Exactly.
Yeah, audio
Podcast.
bombing.
Just be on the episode, Purple, if you're here anyway.
I mean, but then Var would have to,
Holy
like,
shoot,
add
this
my
chat.
picture or whatever.
Why didn't... it's
Yeah,
fine.
I can just
That just
imagine
happened.
we're at some kind of like
just-
stage, and Purple's in the back, and she goes, "Hi, Bar."
I just don't, like, if you don't want to be on the podcast, then don't be on the podcast. If you do want to be on the podcast, then be on the podcast. Make up your
I don't
mind.
want to commit, though.
You're here, though! You're gonna be here the whole hour!
I'm, like, partially here.
You have commitment issues, Purple.
Yeah, you're weird.
I really do, though.
Alright.
I'm
Whatever.
partially here. Leaves.
So,
Yeah, pretty much.
do you guys want to know a fun fact?
Only if it's guaranteed to be fun.
It is super fascinating at the very least. This is the first episode of TTV to have 6, technically 7, cast members on since episode 261.
Gee, I wonder why.
Wow, dude. 29
That's
29
260
episodes.
Yes, Meso. Yeah. That
That's
also
like
happens
7
to be the
bucks.
first episode after I got fired.
That's pretty cool,
Wow.
dude.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
We pulled ourselves together and we're like, guys, let's have a business meeting. Let's discuss how we can move forward on a corporate level.
As you're all aware, Eljay was one of the few people who would actually consistently show up to podcasts. So yeah.
And then I consistently didn't show up to that. Okay, yeah, so that actually reminds me. I need to make a correction from last week. I didn't miss 18 episodes. I missed 28 episodes.
Pretty big distinction there.
Yes. You were the one that told me 18, I think.
I do not think so.
I'm fairly
I
certain.
think that is fake news.
Yeah,
It is,
fake
dude.
news.
It's definitely
Because
fake
28
news.
equals like an even 7 months. So I don't know why I'd say 18. That's like 4.5.
100% fake, 0% real.
The new Baraka. Nice one.
The skull rocker, Messanek.
Oh yeah!
Haha, you're
pretty cool,
fake,
dude.
though.
What's been going on in everyone's lives?
Dang it.
I'm at home.
I had something. I forgot, though.
Oh yeah.
You
It's
had
been great.
something.
What does that mean?
I think something happened. I just forgot what it was.
Good
I
to
can't
know.
remember.
I'm glad you came to the podcast prepared, bud.
Good to know the
Oh, my
interest
goodness.
levels of your life have not changed in your absence.
No.
Something,
No.
Something might.
it sounds like the start of a terrible fan fiction. Something happened, but the character cannot remember it. That's why the story exists.
been struck with sudden amnesia, and he must find the answers to his missing
Guys.
thoughts and discover once and for all the secrets.
Eljay and the
Trail.
journey of Mangosteen.
Oh, that sounds like I can make... That sounds fantastic. It's like, I only know one word. Eljay.
Done on like
Why-
recorder.
I can't remember anything else.
Can somebody do like Eljay's theme but on the really like out of tune recorder?
Can someone do LJ the anime opening?
LJ the
With a
anime
recorder.
opening.
Yes. Just think about
No,
it.
you gotta do the Evangelion theme, you know? Like the like da 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 da.
It'll just be LJ like just running, and it's like a Sonic intro, but instead of you seeing like Chaos Emerald, he sees like 7 Mangosteens just like floating in formation, and he like grabs them all up, and Evangelion theme is playing, and he just runs towards the camera.
LJ could have the Green Hill Zone theme from Sonic.
Maybe
It
throw
all
in
makes
some sakura
sense.
trees, cherry blossoms over in the distance, and there we go.
Okay, fine.
What
I mean,
you guys...
I already have an intro with me running in it. It's my random review intro.
It's pretty true.
That's-
Oh, yes. The
Eljay
treadmill
has
to Brick
be on
Fair.
the ATV,
Oh yeah, that's true. He has to run people over.
running over like hundreds of Onuas. Or
What were you saying,
Nuparus.
Var?
I was wrong. Nuparus.
Oh, I was just curious because like Phweffie, Deadmatoro, you guys have been doing the whole like school thing. What has that been like for you guys?
Oh, yes, them. Okay.
This is the
He's
school
talking
thing,
about
yeah.
school.
Mange, I don't care
live
about
at
you.
school now.
Yeah, me too. I live at school.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I do.
And what's that like?
She lives in a classroom.
It's actually quite fun.
Pretty,
You sound like an anime character.
pretty good.
That's good.
Only
That's
ever
good.
around like ridiculously late at night. Like later
Yeah.
than anyone
I know,
else, even
it's
Vin.
very frustrating.
Yeah, because like you haven't joined the calls in a while. Well, actually, no, you were there like yesterday.
Oh, I
think.
do. It's just I always come on at like 12 or like my time.
Okay. So I've just been
Wait,
missing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're awake around like 3 in the morning, she'll show up.
Nice.
Yeah.
That seems
Sure,
pretty
she joined us
inconvenient.
for the, she joined us for the end of our Doctor Strange viewing sync session that may or may not turn into a video. I don't know. We
Oh.
were very critical of that movie.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
what?
feel like you guys, you
Yeah.
kind of pulled a mask of light with that film.
A
Like,
little bit.
it's a movie that generally people seem to enjoy to an extent, but it was just ham and cheese. This is awful. This is terrible. This is miserable.
I
hate
really
this.
didn't like it, but
I heard
What-
something I never thought I'd hear.
Where does
I
that
rated it
saying come
below.
from? Ham and cheese? What?
Well, you see,
Well, I mean,
it all makes sense
if you consider,
the way of the thing.
we'll tell you when you're older.
This is like trying to tell a child about the birds and the bees. Like the way you said that, the kind of like,
What were you saying, LJ? Rated it below.
Yeah, somebody put it below Thor: The Dark World.
What?
Me.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh wait, okay.
Well,
No, I need to hear why.
Okay, we're doing our MCU rewatch. And Thor: The Dark World, upon rewatch, I actually feel really holds up. I feel like the only things that do not are the human portions. Everything with Jane Foster, everything with Darcy is boring as dirt. Eric Selvig, but everything with Thor, the Warriors 3, Asgard, the Dark Elves kind of like attacking Asgard, killing Thor's mom, you know, having to ally with Loki and breaking out and like Loki angsting out over his mom's death, them going to the Dark World and fighting Malekith and Loki faking his own death. That was all immensely entertaining. Just well shot, good cinematography. The Warriors 3 actually get to do something and be characters. It was gripping, it was intense, it was cool, and it was good character drama. Doctor Strange is an exposition movie. That's what I learned. If that movie did not have its visual effects, there is nothing of substance to that movie.
Hey,
Every single character.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Hey.
Every single character
Hey.
just talks like this. And they just talk exposition about the magical arts, and they talk about the magical world and the sanctums and sorcerers. And oh, here's an exposition about the relic, and oh, but then the backstory of Caecilius and the books and the time stone, the Eye of Agamotto, and you need to be the sorcerer, and you need to forget everything you know. The Ancient One is boring, Wong is boring, Mordo is boring, Stephen Strange is Tony Stark light, and also kind of boring because he doesn't have engaging side characters to bounce off of. It's literally just a visual effect.
you're kind of right in a way.
And seeing it in the theaters highlighted that. Seeing it on a regular screen doesn't do it the same way.
I might have to watch your commentary.
Definitely not the best experience on a monitor.
No, I will agree.
Come here to bargain.
That part was great. I still love the ending of Doctor Strange.
Oh wow, you had something you liked?
Doctor Strange.
The ending of Doctor Strange is just one of the most creative, like, final conflicts in any Marvel movie.
You just need to do what I did and just like come in and watch the middle, because that's the good bits.
Well,
That
no,
is
I mean,
the good bit.
I liked the beginning with his hands getting hurt.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
And I liked the end.
Car crash.
Everything
I watched that car
from when
crash
he-
over and over.
Everything from when he went to Kamartaj, leading up to when he went to Hong Kong. I feel like I could skip and lose nothing.
Actually, my favorite part is with the lady from The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe, where she messes around with his mind. That's funny.
You gotta like be with him on his journey to like learning his powers, though.
Oh yeah, his journey where he sucks, and then all of a sudden he can do what he needs to do because the plot commands it.
No, it doesn't. He goes in the library and reads books. It shows him reading all the books and learning how to use his powers properly.
Came after. He was having trouble getting his portal up, and they just chucked him into like the snow world, and he was like, "Oh," and then like self-preservation, he can do it now because he's
One
like,
journey for one. I don't want to
Hey,
watch
sink
another.
or swim, man.
I mean,
he swam.
That doesn't sound like he's a master out of his power with his powers, as you're describing, though. He made a portal back.
Yeah.
I mean, they clearly thought it was something that a novice could do. That's why she threw him there to begin with.
It was like a trial by fire thing, but like
Except
the way it was done in
by
like
snow.
Iron Man is far more effective.
The way it was done and where?
Iron Man, because you actually got to see him struggle. It went from Stephen Strange is struggling, psych, now he can do it, and then the next scene, it's like he's a master because he read a bunch of books off screen. They have like a book reading montage. Whereas in Iron Man, they spend an hour of him like testing the suit and like building the suit and failing with the suit, and then doing a test flight and almost dying with the suit.
I mean,
And then like he
I don't know. I don't
he makes
think
him test the suit.
I don't think wasting time developing plot points we've seen with other movies would have been something that I would have enjoyed necessarily. I mean, they've already done it before with one of their other ones. They don't really need to reiterate, like, do the whole thing again.
Well, that's why I call him Tony Stark Light. He's the same character, but without
Discount
any of the
Tony
personal
Stark.
growth and with none of the interesting side characters.
Mm.
He is
He's got a
the
cape,
same
though.
dude.
He's the
Yeah, he does have a cape.
Iron
He's got a
Man.
sentient cape.
If Iron Man
The
was
Cape
Lego,
is the best character in the whole movie.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
if Iron Man was Lego, he'd be Mega Bloks Duplo.
Also,
Mega blocks,
also,
dude.
also vending machine guy. I'm
yes.
a big proponent of vending machine guy.
The vending machine doctor side character is the real protagonist we need in our life.
That any of this, which kind of proves your point.
It's truly the character development arc that you're looking for in the movie.
Remember his love interest? Isn't she the best? What's her name?
Oh yeah, that one chick.
Christine.
I mean, aside from Pepper Potts, does anyone have a good love interest?
Not really.
Not really.
I don't really like any of them, but they all do something to contribute. Like Pepper Potts. Yeah, she
Pepper
Oh,
Potts
Peggy
stole the victory from
stole
Iron
the
Man.
thing. Yeah, she came in and got an undeserved one-hit kill. Jane Foster was the one who actually saved the world and prevented the convergence. All Thor did was kill Malekith.
Everyone in the Patreon chat are mentioning Peggy Carter.
Peggy
She's
Carter
good.
is pretty great.
Yeah, Peggy Carter was pretty
I
good.
forget she was a thing, to be honest. 'Cause
Man,
Yeah.
who's the one with a short-term memory, huh?
I guess it's me.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, there has to be a girlfriend or partner for the person.
Molten
Didn't she say,
Fool.
like, didn't the Doctor Strange love interest say she never wants to come back to Marvel because of how, like, her role was handled?
I vaguely recall. I don't know if it was about
I
her
tried looking
role.
that up. I didn't see anything concrete about that.
Let me
Apologies
go
for the fake
find.
news.
See, I there was a claim that I had made during our watching of the film, which I'm very glad to have been able to back up.
It was so funny. It's the one thing that might make it a release-worthy video. I don't know. do you want to say what the claim is?
Sure, I don't mind at all. Yeah, so the claim was, and because I had heard this, I love a subreddit called Today I Learned, because it has a bunch of fun little trivia facts, and I love trivia. The claim was, in the United States, medical mishandlings are the third leading cause of death. So,
Oh, I saw
again,
that.
just in the United States.
Yeah, the doctor's
And-
accidentally killing people.
Yeah, it was medical error, basically.
So we just memed the whole movie about like how the real reason he's Doctor Strange is because he wants to find a doctor that will do something that isn't strange. Like he wants a doctor that will help him. It's like he refuses all the treatment because he thinks people are gonna kill him. It was funny, funnier than it sounds.
Yeah, it didn't sound really funny.
The Meso, that was really messed up. I'm disgusted by the fact that you characterize doctors
Yeah,
like
how
that.
could you say something like that, Meso? What's your problem?
I'm reporting you to the hospital. My dad works for it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry, man. Don't do it.
Sounds like
Also,
a you had to be there type thing.
Oh yeah.
Or listen to the recording.
Yeah, I mean, it was recorded. It probably wasn't worth even like going over the funny joke that was going to be in a video that's going to come out on the channel at some point.
I'm not sure if it'll come out. It wasn't nearly as funny as Civil War and Ninjago, but I guess I'll be the judge of that.
Chucky Chin.
Oh, by the way, Meso, that reminds me. Did you get the Airbud audio up on Dropbox?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
We watched Airbud.
We watched Airbud and did a live commentary. It will be coming out. It was very.
Airbud,
Why
I
did you
think,
do
is one
that
of
to
the.
yourself?
It's one of the greatest movies ever made of all time.
It was a very vulgar commentary.
That movie is awful.
Greatest in what way, Var? I want to know why it's so good.
It's a Weinstein movie, dude. You don't understand.
Weinstein
It's a Weinstein movie.
Oh my lord. What a...
we should watch that Halloween one I mentioned, the Spooky Buddies.
We will.
That's
What?
that's top tier.
I think we're
Spooky
gonna watch
Buddies.
Fall, and I think Purple.
Okay, I have a question about Airbud.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Buddies.
Sure.
How do they do the mounts? Do they do the CG mounts where they open
The
and
dog never
close?
talks.
So
The dog just looks and they
dub
voice
it.
over.
No, there's no
Okay.
voice from the dog. The dog doesn't never
In
say anything.
Airbud, the dog
Oh,
is
that
silent.
one.
I think it changes later on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What
yeah,
on
it
buddies?
does.
Because the buddies talk.
we haven't gotten to the buddies yet.
The buddies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great.
All I know is that I was
In-
baited into watching the movie because Purple said she hated it, only for her to have never seen it. It was...
Yeah, lo and behold, she can't really commit to
Debated by
her
Purple.
memories either, apparently.
No,
Yeah.
confused
And then
in
you
different
hated
ways.
it, Meso. You got like
Oh
really
my god, that movie.
oddly triggered.
By the end of it,
Meme.
like I was
Look.
just fuming. I was boiling over with
In the
rage.
middle. Somebody
I'm-
made a meme in the middle of that DVD cover.
And a meme.
Oh,
I love memes.
goodness.
Is
No,
it a fresh
like,
meme?
It looks like a meme because it's so badly edited,
Oh, I
like
see.
faded. Movie
Uh,
that we need to watch. We need to watch Love on a Leash.
That'd be good. I think the next
It's
movie.
about a love story between a woman and a dog.
No.
Oh yeah, I saw Ralph
No.
make a video on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Please
You need to
pass.
watch it, please.
Be
The
great.
sync view idea is going down the drain.
Listen,
Yes,
I mean,
no.
we still gotta watch Cats and Dogs, so we've got time.
Yeah.
Cats
Yes,
v
my
Dogs, Dawn of Justice.
childhood. What are you doing? It's my childhood.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
as soon as the copyright
Really good.
clears up on it, we're gonna have one coming out for Civil War.
Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna clear though, so we might need
That
to
is-
start working on another one.
Civil War is unbelievably funny. That's like my favorite video we've done since Bionicle Revolution. So hopefully you guys get to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait to share the schmeck with everybody. It'd be great.
Delicious schmeck.
What's the plot of Love on a Leash? What
Well, you
is that?
see,
When a woman and a dog fall in love
Well,
with
you
each
Yeah.
see
other.
when,
So
when a
we-
woman really loves a dog.
I
a woman and a dog love each other really, really
No.
much.
no.
Really
I
We
don't
don't
know
need
about
this.
this movie.
Furry
I don't
propaganda.
know.
Get this out of here.
Sponsored by FurCon.
I don't need this. No, what we need to watch though is Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, but that's like a good
I-
movie. We can't watch good
I-
movies.
I know. That's why we need to watch it.
Mm.
Phweffie and I have wanted to show that to you guys.
It is on the
Long
list though.
time.
I added
Wait,
it. so.
wait. You guys, you just said you don't watch good movies, then why'd you watch Civil War?
Because we've
Unless
seen it like 3 times.
Yeah, because we've all seen Civil War like 20 times. We were able to like riff off the thing. Like Vin did some great jokes in that video.
Oh my god,
Okay.
Vin. He's seen this
Vin was
so many
on
times,
fire
he
with
could
the
predict when
jokes.
stuff was gonna happen and just set up the jokes in
Yeah.
advance. It was like so well done.
Was he almost quoting it word for word from the sounds of it?
Well, no, he would like something funny would happen and he'd like preempt it. He'd be like, "That face when such and such," and then 2 seconds
Yeah.
later it would happen.
I get what you meant. I get what you meant. It's like, but when you watch a movie that much, like for
Yeah,
example,
it
for me,
convinces
it's The Mummy. Like, have you ever heard of that movie?
Oh,
If
we gotta
it's
put the
not
Mummy on
the
the list.
It needs to be
Oh,
added.
The
you
new-
know,
the
you know
new-
what
the
should
new
be
Mummy.
on the list is the Scorpion King or whatever.
Uh,
That one with the CG, The Rock or whatever.
yeah. Okay, maybe.
That's a
Those
real
movies-
proper bad movie.
Those movies used to bother me when I was younger. Like the CG mommy is like, oh, that's weird, but
Mommy.
No, we should see the new
I
Mummy
don't
with like Tom
CG
Cruise or
mommies,
whatever.
Only real mommies for me.
I
Right.
kind of like disappeared for a second, then came back and heard someone saying "mommy" and was
Real
really
mommy.
confused.
Yeah, someone was calling you Phweffie.
what?
What?
All right, so
Don't
moving
Don't worry
on.
about it.
So, yeah, essentially, if you like the viewing sync Ninjago, there's a ton better ones in the pipeline.
That was way better. Ninja, I don't even see like I didn't even want to do Ninjago, but you guys really wanted to watch Ninjago, so I was like, whatever, we'll do it. It's fine.
First
It worked
time
out.
seeing
It makes a good first video, I guess, because we're still sort of transitioning out of the whole Lego thing. So I guess it's a good sort of first step to get people kind of familiar
Chuck E.
with what it
Chin.
is. All
Yeah.
1,000 people that actually watched it, of course.
True.
the new rip-off to Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck E. Chin.
Yeah, dude, Chuck E. Chin, Grandmaster Chuck E. Chin, he makes the great cheese pizza for all the kids, all the boys and
No.
girls.
Var, stop.
Brings them into his Chuck E. Chan
Please
palace.
stop.
Hey kid, you want some pizza? It's fun to eat, so.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
This is not a real treat, so let's get out of this. This is bad.
Oh, you guys need to see the Neil Bream trilogy as well.
The
Yes,
what?
we do. Neil Breen.
Yeah, the who's it? What's it?
Neil
The what?
Bream.
All
What are
hail
you guys
Neil Breen.
saying?
Do not
Has
Google
been
Neil
They're
Breen.
saying Neil
spreading
Breen,
his
dude.
good word. Somebody has been spreading his good word among the group because somebody mentioned it to me and I was like, did I mention Neil Bream? to
was me.
you, or did somebody else mention it? Ah, I see. Yeah, Neil Breen.
Neil Breen is like almost better Tommy Wiseau. Almost.
Oh,
Really?
As far as sheer like movie production.
There's another
Yeah.
person like Tommy Wiseau in this world?
Kind of.
Yes.
Kind of.
Unironically, like
He's
Tommy
made-
Wiseau in this world.
Like his
He's
movie
made, like,
making
3
capabilities,
movies.
not him like visually.
Man, why does Tommy Wiseau look so weird?
Well, you see, he's an alien from
Oh.
outer space. He's
He's
from
a
the planet
vampire.
Meso.
He's an alien.
He is Wiseauian.
Was Zoe.
I see.
I mean, the room was his attempt at trying to understand like how
Yeah.
humans interact.
It was a case
But it
study,
was-
really. That's what it was.
It all makes sense.
Right?
I
See,
mean-
it's important to understand the history behind Wiseau and the Wiseauian culture because eventually they're going to come and invade Earth and take us all as their prisoners.
Sorry, you said too much. Leave your stupid comments in your pocket.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be sure to check myself before I
What?
wreck myself next time.
What even is his nationality? I don't. Where is
He's
he from?
I don't
speculated to be Polish.
Yeah, he's
because
speculated to be
phrases
Polish.
like that are Polish, and the way he says cheap in the
Yeah.
movie, like imitating the chicken sound, also comes from like Poland.
It's also speculated that he lived in France at one point. Of course, that's basically confirmed in the book, Disaster Artist. But he lived in France at one point, had a really bad experience there, which is why he moved to America, completely abandoned his nationality, and is like super into the American culture and everything. And it gets really,
Nice.
really defensive and sensitive if you try to like question his nationality or say he's not from America.
Oh, whoops.
Ooh.
He
Tommy,
real
don't
American.
listen to this.
I mean,
Okay.
he's an interesting guy. I want to know more about him because like there's also the thing where he's like he hides his age too. He's really defensive about that. He doesn't want people to know that he's like an old dude. He tries to pretend like he's a teenager.
Clearly around like 50 years old.
Right,
he's
yeah,
in,
of
like,
course.
His 60s now, yeah.
Yeah, he has to be, but like I don't know. He's convinced that he's younger than 60.
He's immortal.
Mind over matter.
Well, his new movie with Greg Sestero just came out today. Best Friends, the one about the two guys like digging up bodies and like stealing their teeth or whatever.
And
That's what that's about.
People like, yeah,
Watch it.
that's
That's
they're like,
not
yeah,
what I
it's
would have
pretty
assumed.
messed up, but it's it was an
Interesting.
interesting trailer.
The poster was pretty interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. It reminds me of that stock image of those two people shouting at each other.
The one stock image that we've all seen.
That one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
The
you've
one-
all seen it. It's like a man and a woman shouting at each other. Like, I'm
You
pretty
should
sure.
find it. I'm curious. about
Canada. What's the one?
No, for Tommy Wiseau, I always just think of this one quote where they're filming
Some
in
pretty
the
birds.
studio and they've built an alleyway and there's an alleyway right outside and he's like, but this is real Hollywood movie.
Yeah, that's.
Just such sound.
He's a really
life
quotable
advice.
dude. I mean,
Cheap, 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 cheap,
cheep, cheep, cheep.
So the bird.
Do you have
And
like
then
a
there's something
birdhouse in
like,
your room?
What?
I think
Did
those
the bird
birds are
die?
coming
Did it stop? Oh no, there it is.
It's
still-
Bird Friday.
Oh, is that it? It might be me actually. It might be.
I think it is.
Are you recording
Yeah,
outside?
There's some
Is
some
it
birds
morning for
outside.
somebody?
Yeah.
No.
They're just hanging out. Sorry. I can try closing the window.
Nah, it's okay.
I
I like
got-
birds. They're
Welcome
my favorite
to the
part.
TTV
Of...
Podcast. I'm Bird.
Yeah,
You know
we've got
what?
some more cast members joining us.
Some
They're great.
ambient sounds.
Yeah.
ASMR, bird sounds.
Next episode, we'll have crickets joining the cast.
I'm pretty sure we've had that before. Let's not have cockroaches though. They still
Oh.
freak me out. So, you guys are some of my favorite people around.
Really?
Thanks, Var.
No, I'm lying.
Thanks.
I'm just kidding.
What?
But it's great to have you guys back, and it's great to have you
Fools.
guys on the podcast again. It's been a while since we've had so many people on. And,
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
I'm glad we have this call.
I just
Really
wanted
glad
to.
we have this podcast.
All right, I'm done.
I'm
Never
really
mind.
glad I have something to live for.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad for you. I'm glad for you.
No, I caught myself, and I followed it up with Phweffie.
Fweffle.
On my gravestone it'll say, LJ called me purple.
Fweffle.
I can add your gravestone. Hold up, I'll add it to the picture. Don't worry.
For Phweffie.
Hey, Aldi, did you like the parakeet
Who's gotta
version of
do
you?
what,
that
like
I've-
they did.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, isn't it a really
Somebody's
pretty
got to
picture?
do like what Galador did at Virginia 2016 to Bionicle's grave. You got to do it on my grave and take a picture.
No.
You want someone to take a
No.
picture of us peeing on your grave?
I don't know.
Why would you want that though?
I think it'd be funny.
No.
No.
Funny for who?
Who's
In
laughing?
afterlife.
Who's
Yeah,
laughing
take
now,
the jokes
Phweffie?
where you can.
Hey, get a load
Who's
of this.
laughing now, Phweffie?
We're using a gravestone as a toilet. Isn't that hilarious? No.
To make my gravestone.
I mean, it's kinda
into a
funny.
toilet.
What? How is
Huh?
that
Apparently the best toilets.
Listen,
Apparently.
Oh,
death
jeez.
is probably the funniest thing that can happen to someone.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's funny, dude. It's real funny.
Ow.
Probably do anything to my grave. I wouldn't know because I'd be dead.
Exactly.
Indeed.
And isn't that
be
funny?
deed.
Isn't that a really humorous concept to think of?
No, it isn't.
Unless I do an Overwatch and fake my death and go. To my
Exactly. I mean, listen, what we should do is we should hold a TTV like fake out death party, right? Where we all gather up for Brick Fair, and then we like I don't know, we die on the way there, but it's actually a trick, and we survive, but we spend the next 10 years. It's like around the world.
Spend the next 10 years as
In hiding.
vigilantes.
Yeah,
avoiding
vigilante
each other and being
superheroes
edgy.
going around saving people, saving kids' lives,
What?
saving Bionicle.
Why done? Why you done?
Some say I died. Part of me did.
And then we all come back and reconvene like 30 years later. And we're like, oh my god, you're still alive? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm still alive, but you're still alive? And then you'll be like, yeah, I'm still alive, but he's still alive? And we'll be like, yeah, he's still alive, but is she still alive? And then
I'll,
she'll be like,
two-
nah, I'm not alive. And then we'll be really
Life is but a
confused.
societal construct.
Okay, Meso. No.
I really like the structure, dude. It's good.
I'm
Who
almost
cares
down
if I'm
for this.
alive or dead?
Almost up for this, only if I get a wicked beard. But like Captain America's beard.
Well, see, and then what we can do is once you've all reconvened and gathered,
First it's the bird, now it's the dogs.
what is happening right now? What's going
You
on?
woofer.
Woofvar. Woofvar.
Woofer, stop.
Woofer is barking.
I don't hear any
Is it
barking.
chirping?
What are you saying?
Wolfer's barking. Bird starts chirping. Wolfer, stop barking.
They'll hear
Cheep,
you.
cheep, cheep, cheep. The voices, they're telling me that Wolfer's barking.
This is why animals should be exterminated.
The Antichrist
Oh my
is telling
goodness.
me the woofer is barking.
The Antichrist.
What's
So,
the
Meso,
The
if animals should
Antichrist.
be exterminated, I have two questions for you. One, where would we get our meat?
Well,
Well,
I don't know.
You know, they're working on a lot of different types of like weird synthetic meats or like
fake.
Yep, that they
That's
are.
fake news.
like
Fake meat.
petri dish like meats where it's like real meat, but they make it in a lab instead of like on an
Alternative meat.
animal. Yeah, it's kind of crazy actually.
That's pretty cool. I always wondered what was going in my rust.
I always wanted my lab-grown meat. Oh, yum.
Okay.
Delicious meats taste like
And-
treats.
And the second question I have, let's say somebody wanted to be an animal. Let's say they didn't want to be a person and they wanted to be an animal. Do you execute them as well?
Should they be hunted
Yeah.
as well?
wait,
Yeah,
okay.
death to the furries.
So you're saying like if someone identifies as a cow, should
That
we
just
be
happened.
allowed to kill them and eat their meat?
Well, no, well,
Just
Let's say
exterminate.
what
Technically,
they
yes.
have and-
Like we can farm like cow people? Can we like raise people to think that they're cows so that they're fine with us farming them?
Oh my
burgers out of
goodness.
them?
these are the kind of questions you
What
have
if-
to think about, Meso, when you say
TTV
something
talks
like
about ethics.
I mean,
Hey,
this is
guys.
an ethical quandary. What would happen if there's a person that thinks that they're a cow?
that. Eugenics. What's everyone's opinion?
Listen, I didn't want to eat people, okay? I just wanted to
No.
kill animals. That's all I want.
I kind of want to eat
It
people.
tastes disgusting. I don't want to eat people.
How would you know if they taste good or not if you've never eaten people?
Look, the
Listen,
last time I ate
I'm
someone, it went pretty bad. So we
What?
really shouldn't.
Rip man.
Okay, here's the thing. All right, give me
I
a
had to do it
good
to him.
convincing argument as to why we shouldn't eat people. Go.
Because Takuma
Sentience.
isn't here, and that's his shtick.
Okay,
Yeah,
but so,
like,
what is sentience?
To ensure our own safety.
Say like
Ooh.
you might get diseases, which can be transferable.
That too.
to humans.
Also, like, yeah, I think don't humans get a form of mad
There's
cow
a,
disease sometimes?
Yeah, there's a. I'm not sure if it's just Guinea or New Guinea, or if it's just New Guinea. But there's this. I think it's called Kura or something. It's a brain disease.
Kura?
That's caused by cannibalism.
Wow.
Huh.
Angry human
Insane.
disease.
It
Wow.
makes you laugh uncontrollably until.
See,
you
I was
die.
expecting like an answer of like, oh, you can't eat people
Pretty good,
because they've got feelings or something, but you guys gave me like actual answers. I don't have anything to work with now.
Self-preservation,
pretty-
illness.
Yeah, it actually happens. People like when somebody dies, or I believe they offer themselves
Uh-huh.
as food, and it's like highly like celebrated. You're highly respected for doing so. Obviously, I don't know
Oh,
why
wow.
you do it because there is. I mean, I believe that if you die, you die. But I guess these people they must believe in. You know,
I mean, you
different-
get a nice meal and you get really respected because of it. It sounds like a good trade-off to me.
The worst part is that they feed like the human like brain, which is where the disease is most set in, to the women and children, which means that women and children are more affected by the prion disease than everybody else.
Wow.
Huh.
Well,
So
I guess
interested
they.
in prions and like just microorganisms that could potentially kill everyone.
This is making my spaghetti very upsetting.
Yeah, I haven't eaten today, and I guess it's a good thing.
I
Well,
mean,
I mean-
that's just
Okay, yeah, so like, okay, right, but, like, Beta P brings up a good point, though. So can we just avoid this by just cooking the meat, though? Right?
I
Meat.
don't know. I don't know.
Because, like, I'm assuming these people are eating other people raw, but, like, we're civilized human beings, you know? We live...
Yeah,
and
this is civilized talking about eating other.
this is
people.
the United States, man. We cook our meats. So...
During the mad cow disease thing, I'm pretty sure people cooked all their beef, like, and people still got mad cow disease, like, if you're unlucky.
Oh,
so...
that's a good point, yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so if you can get mad cow disease from eating beef...
Prions are indestructible.
Well, how have we stopped the mad cow disease? And why are we no longer getting mad cow disease?
Because they killed all the cows that had mad cow disease and didn't
All right,
eat
so
them.
just kill all the people that have mad human disease.
Mad human disease.
Mad human.
Had human disease.
People who have
human
never
disease.
become angry in their
Well,
lives.
the
we
thing
kill
is, I'm
those
pretty
ones.
sure that mad cow disease is caused from cows eating cows. Like, it's...
They put their own cows in the feed. So basically, this is a
So
precursor.
Wait,
it's like
crud.
so it's like basically if you were eating humans, you'd probably get something eventually similar to mad cow.
No, if you ate a
The same
human
kind
that
of
ate a
prion
human.
disease.
Yeah, if you ate a
No,
human that
no.
ate another human.
No,
Yeah,
the
so
cow-
just eat humans
don't the
that
cows
haven't
also-
eaten one.
What are the
Don't
cows
the cows
also do?
Also,
Flying? Flying cows?
ow.
It's part of the
I'm pretty
disease.
sure the cows also get sick. Is my point, I guess.
It's like
I'm gonna look up mad cow disease right now. How to defeat mad cow disease.
type in prions. That's what causes it. It's like a
the way
string
they
of
stopped it.
protein.
They
Prions.
stopped giving them cows. They stopped feeding them beef,
Prion
I think,
disease.
Right? I don't know. This
Hey.
is just hearsay.
A prion is an
show
infectious
signs-
agent thought to be the cause of transmissible spongiform encephalitis
Brain.
(TSEs). It is composed entirely of protein material and can fold in multiple structurally distinct ways. Wow, that's really great.
Somebody in the chat, they're basically enzymes. So they're pretty hard to destroy. Like you can't destroy them really, even with cooking and stuff. They'll still be there. And the scary part is that you can get like spongiform just randomly. Like you can because enzymes, like if there's enzymes in your brain, this is up, it will replicate over and over again as it's like messed up form. So you can get spongiform just by being really unlucky. That's really
Wow.
scary, isn't it?
Dang.
So
I mean, I haven't heard any reason why I shouldn't eat people, though. Sounds like a good time
I don't know
overall.
about you, but I don't want to get mad human disease. So
Well, okay, so what would happen if you got mad human disease, though? What are the side effects?
go insane really slowly, basically.
Well, I mean, let's assume if I'm eating people, I'm already insane.
You lose control of your body because it destroys the cells in your brain.
Really insane. Got no cells in the
Really.
brain.
The reason why they
Oh,
call it
Meso.
spongiform is because it turns your brain like into a spongy material. Like
Thought
it
it was
messes
SpongeBob
up your
forum.
Sponge brain, SquarePants.
I'd eat any human being so long as it inspires hope.
It turns you into SpongeBob.
That's the worst thing of all, Var. I don't think it's worth it, man.
Okay, wait. It says here on the Wikipedia, once clinical symptoms arise, they typically get worse over the upcoming weeks and months, eventually leading to recumbrancy, coma, and death.
oh,
Okay.
fantastic.
See, I don't want to die. I want other people to die.
To
my stomach.
Goodness.
Well, I'm sure you can bring a lot
good news, you
bring
can
a lot
do
of
that
people down
without
with
eating
you.
them.
Well, no, but I want to eat them, though. That's the whole point. So there's got to be a way that I can eat the people without
We
getting
gotta
mad
make a
human disease.
compromise here.
Yeah, we have to make a compromise here. We can't just just move along from this conversation
All right,
until we
all right.
figure out how to prepare a human meal.
But what's the secret to immortality then? That's the side question here. You gotta solve both problems.
What the heck?
Yeah, you're right.
What's the meaning of life?
All right.
Okay, so like,
I
okay,
think I-
No?
if
I got it.
we were to find a way to reach immortality, how would you actually go about doing that, though? What?
I know how.
Oh, okay.
This can actually encompass all of these problems. So,
All right, yeah.
you want to eat people and you want to stay alive forever, right?
Yes.
Cut
I mean, I don't
off-
necessarily want to stay alive forever. I just want to eat people without dying.
Well, okay, in this hypothetical.
Yeah.
So, you cut off slivers of yourself and eat those to survive, and then the slivers grow back and you continually cut off slivers of yourself because you got to eat to live.
Now, this
So
is
if
interesting.
You continue to eat, you'll live. So you just eat yourself and live forever.
This is
and you'll
interesting.
Just regrow yourself.
Can you get
but-
viral like infections and like diseases from your own person? I don't think you
Probably.
can, right?
Assume so.
Could your body produce
could
things that would
reinfect
get you
yourself.
sick? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, there's stuff that reaches your skin that you will end up washing off through like hand soap or like taking a shower and stuff. Doesn't go in your stomach though until you eat it.
Wait, Phweffie, what was that?
I mean, like, there's a reason why, like, even if you're not in a public bathroom, people want you to wash your hands, like.
Well, because you could get other people sick.
Yeah, but also, like, your body is excreting, like, all the stuff it doesn't need, and especially if you're sick, it's excreting, like, dead bacteria or dead cells that may
Right,
still
but we're
be
assuming that
alive.
we're perfectly healthy right now.
I don't know, then.
I think you'd be fine. I think that's a good solution, Eljay. I think if you just started cutting off bits and pieces of yourself and eating that for a meal every, like, so often, that would work.
Yeah, and you just regenerate. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
All according to plan.
I
Yeah.
think it's really interesting how people, like, in a lot of, like, folklore, it's, like, cannibalism is tied into immortality, because technically that's what vampires do as well.
I
It's
think
like
I'm gonna
you're-
title this
you're eating-
episode "How to Cheat Death." I'm gonna use the graveyard picture.
We're not
TTV
trying to
talks
cheat
about
death,
cheating
we're
death.
trying to eat people.
How to no, but it's like
Cheat and eat.
cheat and eat.
Gotta cheat death and eat death.
Yeah, darn it. Okay, Dark Talk and Invi from the Patreon chat stole the words right before I said them. Cheating on your diet.
Wow.
Cheating for your diet.
Cheating for your death. It
Die. It.
die.
Die. Die. Die.
Die.
This whole, like, discussion makes me want to play Plague Inc.
I was just thinking that. It's like it's a very Plague Inc. kind of thing.
Wiping out the human race with diseases. I like calling them, like, Mardi Gras and stuff. So the whole
Alright.
human race was
You
wiped
speak
out.
to
by
me on a
Mardi Gras.
personal
So
level.
here's what we got to do. So we got to find a child. I don't know, we can make a child or something. We'll like grow one out of the ground or something. But we just need a child, and we need to
I
train.
wish I could grow children from the ground.
We need to feed this child nothing but an all-human diet until we see like what happens. And if they get sick and dies, then we know we can't do it. But we can then, scientifically discover what is causing the mad human disease and see if we can stop it.
Can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
People are asking me how children are made. I know you put the bean into the ground and it grows. Haven't you seen Cabbage
human
Patch
sprout.
Kids?
There's many different methods. Build a baby is in fact one of them.
Yeah, so we can just go to Build-A-Baby and we can build up ourselves a baby. What do we want to name our child?
Hannibal.
What?
Hannibal.
Hannibal. Oh, that's a good name. That's good. I like it. That's good. Our child's name is Hannibal. Little Hannibal.
Hannah Bear.
No, they would probably end up trying to eat you, which
Edible. That's a person. We should name him Edible.
Edible. Hannibal and his twin brother Edible.
I love
Hey,
it.
where'd Edible go?
That's perfect. We can make 2 of them. Okay. So then we see what happens.
Edible and
We see how far they
Hannibal, that's
last.
amazing.
I mean, I would hope like maybe that their immune system would develop a immunity to the mad human disease over time. That would be the best case scenario.
Look like that, I'm afraid.
Well, how would you know, Phweffie? You don't have edible or cannibal yet. Or
Completely
Hannibal.
different. Like it's a completely different like cell structure to like anything that's a virus or a bacteria or anything the immune system is aware of.
We got a professional over here. Apparently.
Well, I like reading.
You know,
about
I'm a
this.
bit of a
It makes me-
scientist myself.
Just myself. No, it's because I was like, was super interested in it because I was like, how does this thing exist? It's like when you realize a virus, nobody knows where viruses came from.
I know. I was trying
Like,
to
they're
read
just-
about it more. It's like I still don't. I don't get like.
It's like
I think that they just have like
scientific-
hypothesis on why it exists. Nobody really quite knows.
I mean, I've had this
Oh my God.
Not even
conversation
a
before.
lie. Like it's just a strand of like DNA inside like this like. It's called, but like just inside this spider-like thing, and it
I
just
know where viruses
destroys
came
things.
from.
Like that's all it does.
Go on, LJ, enlighten us.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? Came from computers. It's a computer virus. Somebody made a virus, and that's how we have viruses.
So tell me, LJ, where did viruses come from before computers were made?
We didn't have viruses before computers were. That's ridiculous.
So explain the
Really?
Black Plague.
Was a
Well, okay.
virus.
So what happened? That was all frostbite. Like everyone just got super cold, and when you have frostbite, and your limbs start to just blacken up and just die because all the cells are dying. That's what it really meant. So everyone just got like really chilly because they didn't have blankets back then either. So they just died. So that.
So everybody just got really cold.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It does sound like you're confusing Black Plague with the Ice Age, but that's fine.
Black Plague 3, the movie.
Plague NATO.
Age of Extinction.
I like it. That's good. I like this.
Actually, a really
All right.
interesting one too.
I mean, I've had questions about viruses a lot. Unfortunately, my questions started to get in like not safe for work territory. So, oh well.
Oh no, rip.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just happened.
Pepperoni.
Rest in pizza. Well, do we have any other hypotheses on this?
Meso, you haven't given us your opinion of eating people.
Listen, I just wanted to kill friggin' animals.
Wow.
Well, that's what we're doing.
I have no interest in eating people. Sorry.
Why not?
But it,
I mean,
it ain't my
I-
speed.
I like beef and I like lamb and chicken. I don't think human is really gonna be worth.
Yeah, you tell me if human tastes like chicken, then I'll get back to you. But
Yeah.
All right, well, I mean, like, you know
Like,
how
if it tastes like dry chicken, I think.
okay, yeah, you're right. It has to
But
be-
if
has
it
to be
tastes like
dry.
chicken, then just eat chicken, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
you wouldn't want it to
it's gotta
taste like
taste
anything.
something amazing, like something like whoa, this tastes like nothing, and then it's like okay, yeah, maybe I'll go
It's
check that.
I mean,
out.
for all we know,
much
human is probably
cheaper. What if humans being fed to us and we don't know?
Wouldn't that be
Whoa.
That would be incredible.
Conspiracy of the century.
Well, because that
Oh,
would
God.
disprove this theory that
Conspiracy
mad
with
human
the
disease would
horse
stop
meat.
us.
conspiracy?
Okay.
Did you hear about the Tesco's debacle where they were using horse meat in their burgers and nobody knew?
Yeah, a little
The
bit.
burgers,
I mean-
they were pretty good, which is
It-
horrible.
It sounds like they were just horsing around.
Yeah.
I say
Yeah,
nay
like,
to that
when
joke.
I had the burger, I was like, wow. Like, I didn't think it just tasted like I found out that the cheap burgers that are made by Tesco were made with horse meat, and I was like, oh, well, I wouldn't have known otherwise.
I mean, that's
I
fascinating,
don't
but
think that horses
Those
would
horses.
make good burgers. They don't seem very meaty, you know.
wait, horses don't seem meaty?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Dude,
they're
have you
not
had
like
a horse
cows,
leg
you
before?
know?
I don't know.
No.
Horses look pretty meaty. It seems like they'd make good like steaks and stuff.
I
Like,
guess so. Maybe like a Clydesdale. I don't know.
wait, so like,
Oh,
what is
yeah.
it? Don't you need a lot of fat for like a steak to taste really good, right? Isn't that like a thing?
So yeah, maybe people would taste good because I feel like people usually have like a good amount of like body fat on them.
Yeah, especially
You get
Americans.
the cut from.
Wait, excuse
No,
me?
that's a lot of fat. Definitely not American.
Where
Too
would
much
you
fat.
like?
Okay.
Is
Taking
part of
notes here.
human is.
What
You know-
part? What are the tastiest part of the human? I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know, like a thigh.
Or- Yeah, thigh
Yeah,
or like
that's
a,
what I was thinking.
depending on how fat they
Thigh.
are, the flank,
Wait, what's a flank?
the side. Like, you know,
Ah.
like the side of next to your ribs, like on your side.
Huh.
Squidgy bit.
Huh.
Huh. You know, I find it really coincidental and almost, I don't know if this is irony, but Takuma, I think he would have really enjoyed this conversation. given
I
he's a
know.
recovering-
I wish he was here so I could ask him the burning questions.
Yeah, you know, he's a recovering cannibal, that is.
Yeah. Oh, he's
No,
moved on
no,
the
no, no.
rabbits.
It's good. It's good that he's not in this conversation. You might make him relapse.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's a good
perfect.
point.
Though. That's what we want. Then we can figure out how to solve this like mad
Oh,
human
that's true.
disease.
Science. All right, let's call him in.
We might not even
Yeah,
need to
ask
harvest
him
children.
What it tastes like.
Harvest children.
My
Dude,
God.
that one scene from Always
That
Sunny
just
where
happened.
Dennis is like, I'm a recovering crackhead.
That took a turn. So,
You
okay.
look like a crackhead.
It's sometimes rainy in Pennsylvania. I've seen that, but not always sunny. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
No,
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Kazapar, he just said, not sure about this new TTV.
Yeah, it's funny. We have like a Bionicle project promo to do like at the end of this, and we preceded it
Bionicle?
with cannibalism.
It's
Let's
perfect. What a
ask
great
this
opening.
question. Do you think
Bionic
Scotty
cannibals.
would eat other Scott?
I was about to ask that, but I felt it was too random, and I was like,
Well, I mean,
I'm
would a
not gonna-
Skokti get a mad Skokti disease?
Maybe.
slugs?
Since they're kind of like little mini computers, would they get a virus?
I feel like this whole mad disease is
Eating
pretty
Zactan
convenient.
would go wrong.
Do you eat Zactan? I think it would be like a really difficult thing to do unless you have him like rice.
Zactan
Well, I
would
mean,
be a
like,
spice.
Zactan.
If you
Right. Become a spice.
if you inhaled those
Right.
protodites, you're done for.
It's like inhale the proteids.
All you would have to do is mix the protodites around, like like cayenne pepper or something.
Yeah,
in your
he's
dish.
like put him a salt shaker.
But I mean, if he can control them and you like inhale them into your body, like that'd probably come back to hurt.
Delicious protodite flavor.
He did that with Tahu, didn't he? Like Tahu, like he stabbed Tahu and then started eating him.
Yup. Do we have any other closing thoughts? Because we're only at 52 minutes, so we're gonna do that project promo. But do you guys have any other incredible cannibalism hypotheses?
Nah.
Actually,
Red Robin.
I'm really interested with the whole like Skakti thing now because like they actually eat things.
Let's go ask
so-
Greg right after the podcast.
I do have one final question.
Go
So
on.
every animal has like the two names, right? You've got like the name of the animal itself and then like the name of the meat, right? You've got like pig and pork, and cow and beef.
Beef.
Chicken and chicken? Is that what you're getting to?
No, it's chicken and poultry actually. But
Sorry.
Oh, right.
what what
On
is
top is lamb and lamb.
what is human though? Human and human and human
No,
and
you come up with a name.
human.
Yeah.
I'm trying to prompt a conversation, and you aren't trying to work with me here.
Man flesh.
Flesh. Yeah.
Flesh. Oh, okay. I mean,
That's true.
That works. That works. I'm good.
We just call it the simple one because it's us. So like we just get the like it's like when you're playing like capture the flag or whatever, and somebody has to wear the dumb jerseys, and then it's like we're the guys that we gotta be just the shirts or whatever.
The skins.
Someone
This
said in
is-
the chat, it's
Not
called
the
we're
flesh.
called long pig by certain cannibal tribes, which I
Oh no!
There's a name for it. Oh
Thing.
my gosh, long pig.
Long.
That's great. All right. All
I feel
right.
like I've heard that
Similar
before
biologically
too.
to pigs.
Oh, were you fed long pig before in your life?
No, I just feel like I've heard the term before. It sounds familiar.
Okay.
It's from my
It
culture.
gives me the creeps.
How did we get here?
How did we get here?
We asked a really
Hot
important
dog
question.
Considered a long pig.
All right. Fine. I have all my cannibalistic questions answered.
For now.
For
I'm
now.
not sure about the new TTV. We'll get the Kuma on for the epic sequel at some point. And I'm sure YouTube will just absolutely love our advertiser-friendly content.
That'll be great,
It
dude.
will go real well. Okay. So now we're gonna talk about Bonkle.
Bonkle.
There's Bonkle, dude.
Bonkle.
There's two things, though only one is going to get a major discussion this week, simply because of the time that we're at. I'll just mention that the Red Star Gaming project launched. That's been an ongoing thing, and it's hit the public space, and I'm sure we're going to be discussing that at length over the coming weeks and months as it takes shape. But right now, there's a bunch of cool masks up on Shapeways. You can go check that out, as well as their announcement trailer. That isn't what we're going to be talking about primarily, though, because we're actually going to be spotlighting one of, I think, only two people to ever do the Patreon $50 project promotion tier, which has now been retired in the new era of Patreon.
So the last one.
It's the last one. It is Prentice 1215's BIONICLE Reiterated. That is the project. Longtime fan of ours, Prentice, now brand new moderator on the TTV message boards. Give him,
Squad.
give him a round of applause, live studio audience.
Oh.
Not us, because it will be in the audience. the studio audience can do it in here.
Woo.
Okay, sure, we can do it. Fine. So we're gonna be talking about BIONICLE Reiterated for a little bit. Essentially, I'm gonna post a link to the channel so you can check it out for yourself in the description below. Essentially, how would you guys describe it? It's like a reimagining of the 2015 animation.
I wouldn't really say it's a reimagining as much as it's more like an expansion of it. It's sort of like taking the story elements of G2 and kind of expanding upon it, adding more stuff to it, kind of fleshing it out, making it more of a complete story.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now that we actually have Prentice here in the live studio audience chat, I'm going to ask you one important question that I need to understand before
What are
we
you gonna do
actually
next?
talk about your project. How did you come to the decision of designing pictures? Because I really want to know.
Oh no.
What was the logic behind
Oh, no.
designing?
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Maybe it's intentional and it's like something really clever.
It's a long story. See, there's an actual story here.
Okay.
All right.
That's good.
You're gonna give me a short version of the story because I saw that and I was like, I really gotta know.
Meso is obsessed with that for some reason.
It's designing, dude.
The eye design.
I design. But no, essentially
This is
it's a
by
stop
design.
motion animated series while Prentice types out his life story. But it does the thing like I don't know how to. I don't know how to like. Okay, here we go. It originated as a spelling mistake. I don't like the way dazzling is actually spelled, so I've kept it. I respect that.
Okay.
Make your
Just
own
roll
way
with
in
it,
the
man.
world, Prentice.
He made his own word, just
Alternative
like how he
grammar.
made a word for human flesh that we can eat.
Yes, that did happen.
That was
What
a thing
is
that
the
happened.
style of stop motion that this is used? I don't know if there's a word for it. But it's like green screen stop motion.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
the only way I can really describe it.
stop
It is
motion done on a green screen.
Yeah,
a
it's
stop
just
motion
stop motion.
series that overlays the stop motion over backgrounds and images to simulate the actual terrain of a place like Okota.
I can't say that there's a style, like a name for it. I don't think. I think it's just, it's just a
That's
technique.
fair. I'm mainly speaking in like the Bionicle sphere. There's only 2 people I've ever seen really do this extensively. Now, granted, I don't watch many stop motions, but it's him and Bionicle NP, Noah Productions, are the 2 I'm most familiar with. But I'm sure there are others. Noah Productions did it for his Bionicle Ignition movies, and now he's done it for Bionicle Reiterated. It's a tricky thing, because I respect the immersion that it is trying to convey. It's a lot better than just having, the G2 sets shambling across somebody's living room. You know what I mean? Because like, there's
Yeah,
some
for sure.
environments you can't replicate in real life. You can't do a crazy volcano for Tahu.
And he throws in like particles and projectiles and
Yeah.
different effects in there too.
There's a lot of work done to accentuate a lot of the effects and stuff. At the same time, for some things like the jungle, it's low-key distracting because I'm like, you should just go to like a forest, just do like a real tree, but then you
Meso.
run the risk of breaking cohesion with the rest of the stuff there.
There is no
So-
forest biome on the island of Okoto. It's jungle. Thank you very
Well,
much.
you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. I have no clue what
A
you're
real-
talking about right now.
I'm talking about a real tree.
What do you mean a real tree? Oh, I actually do know what you mean. Never mind.
Yeah, man, I'm talking about a real tree.
I mean, Tara, you'll fit right in.
Live commentary, Matoro.
Yeah. Do we want to here? I guess I kind of just want to go through it episode by episode and talk about some of the interesting stuff he added. In episode 1, you were in it, Matora. You played the role of Bingzak.
I did.
There's this whole sequence where Bingzak and Nilku essentially have to go spy on a Skull Spider meetup that's going on. And spoilers, if anyone wants to check it out, they have to.
Why would you spoil it?
I'm
The
not
whole
spoiling
point is to
yet,
get people to see it.
But I'm discussing it. It's like a review,
Okay.
I can just put the link in the description and be like, check it out. and then
Generally
we're done, but I
speaking,
wanna
when
actually-
you give a review, you don't necessarily go through it plot point by plot point and say all the spoiling things that happened in it. But all right, that's fine.
I mean, I presume Prince just wants us to talk about it. Am I correct in that?
Oh yeah, I mean,
So Avengers Infinity War. I thought that movie was really good, except for the part where everyone died.
yeah. When
That
Tony
was
Stark died, I
unfortunate.
just wasn't really feeling it, and I think it ruined the whole
Yeah.
the whole movie.
I
Fun
also
is not
thought
something I
was kinda-
consider when watching the
I thought
Well, I
it was
must
kinda
admit, that brought a
contrived when
smile to my
Hawkeye
face.
showed up to fight Thanos, and the Soul Stone was in his bow the whole time. I thought that was a little contrived.
Funny joke.
He shoots arrows at all the Avengers' corpses, and their souls go back in their bodies, come back to life. Anyway, no, there's a fun sequence where the Skull Spiders are actually sentient and talking, and he's like, "You need to go infiltrate," and he puts a berry on Bingzak's face.
Yeah, the blueberry.
So she can it's a blueberry cluster, so she can pass off as being a Skull Spider, and that was a nice bit. I really enjoyed all of all the actual additions to the G2 thing. One of the things I'll give this project credit for, it actually protectors talk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They get a lot of screen time in this because he essentially goes through each Toa getting their masks one by one. The animation's just kind of glossed over it, but he actually shows what happens. They all have dialogue with the protectors about life and what they're on the island to do. Tahu has a somewhat uncharacteristic nice guy turn where what?
Continue.
Did I just? Sure. Yeah, I heard something with Tahu in that I wanted to talk about. Essentially, he's talking about how he was saying, "Oh, how hard is it to live near this volcano? I want to fix your volcano lifestyle because it must be really uncomfortable. And I'm gonna plant some trees in this like arid climate. And the protector's just like, whoa there. I just want you to like awaken a Kimu, okay? I don't want you to go crazy, but we can live here. We've grown to adapt. And he's like, no, I really want to help. I want to help fix the landscape. And he's like, chill out, man. And that was an interesting turn because that's never really been considered. Like, how hard
One
must
doesn't
it be
usually
to
consider.
How hard must it be to live next to a volcano? It must be really hot. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
say?
probably.
I would imagine
You don't
so.
say.
Like, I would move if it was me.
I don't know what.
Freezing in front of this volcano.
Yeah, it's not the coolest place to live.
I don't
would
know.
probably vacate the premises.
I don't know the plot, like episode by episode, like which event happens in which episode because I binged them all. But I think the one scene that I thought stood out was pretty well written was when the protectors are conversing with the Toa for the first time and telling them like what they are and everything and how it cuts between each Toa.
Yeah.
It was good. I think something similar happened in the book. Kind of,
it
like with the
was-
chapters?
It was similar. The book handled it way better than the animation did, for sure. I know
Yeah.
Kivoda was talking to Gali about like the lore of the island and everything in the books. It's a similar kind of shtick that happens there.
Yeah. I thought that was a good sequence though.
Another thing that happened was when Kopaka was talking to Izator, they like get into this philosophical thing about how the regions take characteristics of the Toa and the Toa take characteristics of their region. And they're like talking about the metaphysical nature of snow and how it affects your personality. And I was like, huh. I recall we did like we were doing a similar thing with G3 at first. I think we dropped it midway through. But
Were we?
talking about how the elements can manifest into personality traits.
Oh.
But we at least entertained that discussion.
Yeah,
on a
I
podcast
have a
episode.
vague memory of that.
Yeah. That isn't often touched. Then Eljay, you were also in this,
Yes.
and your mic was like insanely better than anybody else.
Yes.
It's always off-putting every time you speak.
Yeah, no. So, fun fact, actually. All of the lines that I did for Prentice, I did them in the hours leading up to my departure for BrickFeed, Virginia 2017.
And
I think I recorded, it's like an hour tops while I was working. So it was a fun challenge. I did not have any direction outside of Biliwa, which, I am. But it was an enjoyable experiment, and I had fun actually getting to finish lines and being like, yeah, I did it. Got them all done. Every line individually, its own recording, and modify all the audio, make it nice and high quality and whatnot. I hope it didn't come off as rushed. I don't think it was the best I could have done.
Nah, your lines are okay.
Thank you, Far.
They were only okay though.
Yeah, they're okay.
The one voice actor I thought really stood out for me was Skull Slicer's
Skull
voice.
Slicer,
Raptor Talon did a
yeah.
great job at Skull Slicer. That
Yeah.
voice acting there was amazing.
He nailed like the maniacal laughter in the thing,
Yeah.
but did it better than the actual like.
I thought that was easily like the highlight voice actor acting out of everyone there. It was really good.
I think my favorite is Loss.
Hey, Loss, how do you feel about the current socio-political atmosphere? That's interesting.
Freaking lost it every time.
How's the weather, Loss?
That was glorious. And then for some reason in episode 3, he like speaks incoherent sentences and then goes right back like blah. And it's great. There's this like subplot where Kulta like sends Skull Slicer to shake down Loss,
Yeah.
and like it's really interesting seeing that whole thing develop. Let's see. So in the
I
way
also
of
thought
critique,
most of
do have
the
something to
female
say.
voice
You
actresses
go.
are also really good.
yeah.
I thought Korgo's voice was really good. Galley's is pretty good too, but I think Korgo's was a good standout. And Deadmatoro, you were really good. So
You were the standout for
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Wait, which one did Phweffie
well,
voice?
had a good.
Phweffie was
I
the
do-
original Protector of Earth, the one before Korgo.
I had a good accent, guys. Thanks.
Wow, I must have completely missed that.
Assless. the cast list is great. Like, it shows all the actors, and then at the very bottom, and Phweffie. Like, get freaking hype. Like, this is why I've been watching it.
Like, why does
Phweff.
she have such prestige? Like, she's like with special guest Phweffie. But I guess it's just because her role was.
It
small.
kind of reminds me of Scream. If you've seen that, they see like and blah blah, blah and it's like, oh, it's a cameo, and oh, never mind.
Oh yeah, there we go.
If you've seen Scream, you know what I mean. The first 5 minutes.
Oh, dude, Scream. We need to watch Scream, by the way. We gotta add that to our list.
Let's do it.
It's a really good movie.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, we should do some horror movies.
dude, I want to do like every horror movie. I'd
Can
be
we
so
do
hyped for that.
Saw? I want to do Saw.
I don't know if we could do Saw.
Ah!
I mean, I would love to do Saw. I'm not sure if we could get away with that one. That might be going a little far.
No, yeah.
It's a bit
I
more
don't know about-
gratuitous.
Too risque.
How's about Pet Cemetery?
Let's do it.
Based on
Just
Wow.
anything with jump scares would be really fun.
You're a fan of jump
yeah,
scares.
I think Scary Games would be also very effective.
Uh-huh.
I thought you hated
Yeah,
scary
sure.
games.
Yeah, no,
So
you'd be.
awesome.
You're
We've
saying that
been
now,
down
but
this
then we'd
road
actually
before.
start and you'd bail.
Because I actually completed a horror game the other day.
Oh.
Oh, what game?
Yeah, it's a game called The Consuming Shadow, which it's not a like conventional horror game. It's made by Yahtzee, the guy who does Zero Punctuation reviews.
Oh.
Oh.
The British dude.
Oh.
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 About it's a Lovecraftian horror game, and you have
Ooh.
to figure out which god is
Wow.
invading the world. But 3 gods are invading the world at the same time, so you have to figure out which ones. Like, actually, no, there's 3. There's an enemy of the invading god. There's an ally of the invading god, and then there is the invading god. And you have to go around the different towns in England and find out like which god it is. But there's like creepy things in them. Like, I can show you like a trailer for it. It's like a very
Sure.
like you can tell it was made by one person because it's like very like text based and you have to make choices. And I made like the worst choices. For example, there was this police officer that like pulled my car over. And he was like, do you keep driving or do you stop? And I was like, of course I'm going to stop. It's the police. The policeman drags you out the car and kidnaps you into some cult basement.
As
I'm
a
like,
police officer does.
Why? Why is this
I
happening
can't
to me?
confirm.
Can't
It's
confirm.
happened before.
Listen,
Have
kids,
you
if
never
there's
been
one
in
thing,
a police officer's basement?
if there's
Oh,
one
yeah,
thing that you can
also,
learn
you
from this
can also use
episode
your mind.
is that never trust the
You can,
police. If a police officer tries to pull you over, keep on driving.
No, more! Stop!
He might try to eat you.
Yeah, you don't want him to eat you. Keep on driving.
There's like this part of the gameplay which is sanity, and if you lose sanity it will start to mess with your controllers. You'll see enemies. It's like amnesia. It's like you
What
see
the
enemies
heck?
that aren't actually there. And like also
Dang.
like it'll mess with the controls. For example, there's one where it inverts the controls, so like you're walking around and like it's all inverted and you're like, why?
Nice.
And the worst one is when you go insane, the lights, like there's this light flickering thing because you're going insane, and it just
Got
makes
no
it
brain.
so much more creepy. Like I was not sober when I was playing this game.
Thank
Full
you.
disclosure.
Why? The entire time, and being pretty
Candid Phweffie.
avoidant. And if you leave rooms where there's still monsters in them, you will lose sanity. And I remember there was just this point where I went nuts and just ran out the dungeon. They were like, Beth, you're gonna lose, you're gonna go insane. Your character's gonna end up killing themselves. I'm like, I don't care. I'm getting out of here.
Oh my goodness.
Nice. Well,
I ended up beating the game though. I banished the god.
So back to BIONICLE Reiterated.
So,
Back to
banishing
our
the 2 hours.
discussion and promotion.
That's gotta be like $25 worth
I'm sorry.
It's all for the sake of entertainment. No,
Yeah,
like
so-
for real. Anyway, back to Reiterated. He essentially goes through pretty much all the 2015 story. by the end of things. I think that there is a season 2 coming out. I don't know when exactly. I don't know when it's going to be released. Now, in the way of feedback, I do have a few helpful critiques that I'm sure you have heard that I feel I can relay that might slightly make things better. Now, I don't claim to be a stop-motion guy, so I won't address it from that angle. A few things. Number 1, fading out audio tracks.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Useful tool.
I think
Because sometimes the music and the dialogue will just play and then it will just end.
Unfortunately, there's several moments that were, I think, unintentionally funny. Where, like, due to the audio just kind of stopping immediately, you would, like, tension would just, like, drop like a dime, and it was actually pretty funny. Like, all the Matoran gathering around, or the Matoran, the Protectors gathering around to summon the toe, and, like, the music's pumping up and it's amping up. It's really, really exciting, and then the beam goes out, and it's just silent.
It goes, like, for a split second, and then just dead silence. I was like, well, I guess...
Definitely some of the music timing. I mean, there's parts where, like, music just starts out of nowhere as soon as someone starts talking.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
I think the audio mixing is definitely something I would suggest focusing on a bit more going into it, because I think that was... I definitely think it betrayed what you were going for in terms of, you know, the video.
At certain points,
Yeah.
Because with the stop motion, you know, that's whatever. I'm looking at that. I'm getting immersed in that setup. You know, as a stop motion, it might not be like fancy graphics like Journey to One or whatever, but I can accept this is this world. These are the sceneries that the characters are moving through. All right, but the sound is an added layer that takes me out of it if that is off. So honestly, better sound mixing, everything just goes up in quality tenfold. Even if, like, you know, some of the visual effects or whatever, it doesn't matter. I can still be immersed in that video. Another thing, directed towards Eljay.
Hello.
Use a headset mic. That might be controversial.
Yeah.
Consistency.
The fact that your audio sounds so much better than everybody else's
distracting.
is incredibly distracting, and it's a lot easier for you to downgrade than everybody else to upgrade.
Okay, all right, fine.
It's the price you pay for having a good mic and everybody else not having one.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
No. Affairs.
I do have a headset.
The sin of quality.
The sin of a quality mic.
Prentice vetoed that mess up.
Mic. All right, well, fair enough.
Get wrecked, Meso.
So I do
just
actually.
here to give them-
I unfortunately do also have one critique, and it is with the visual. I think the stop motion's fine for the most part. The issue I would have would be the discrepancy between real photographs and then real-looking trees, and then the MS Paint images.
Yeah, it's true. Like the drawn trees.
I'd say
Stick with
just
one type of background.
go with one or the other. Just pick one and go with that.
That's very true.
Let that be it. I enjoyed watching it, especially with these guys. I thought it was fun to watch. It was very entertaining, and there's obviously a lot put into it. And Meso, what was that one phrase you said beforehand?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say more effort, because that, like, it says the G2 animation team didn't put effort into them, which I don't agree with. I think they did the best they could with the constraints they were given. But I said, like, put into this as far as, like, characterization and stuff than the 90-second online animations. Like, even if some of the characterization is odd, like Kopaka or Tahu being, like, super kind and wanting to, like, terraform the volcano, there's still lines there because you spend more time with the Toa. I could get behind stuff, and then subtle details too, like Kopaka being very standoffish. So when Gali and Kopaka meet Onua, Gali introduces them both, you know, or like Gali introducing all three of them later on when they meet Liwa. It's like she's the mediator, the friendly person. She comes up with the strategy, you know, for them to work out who's going to lead the team. She, like, can't keep things together, and I never got that at all from Gali in G2. She was a non-character, pretty much. Speaking strictly for 2015, not Journey to One. That's a different beast.
Yeah.
So I do respect a lot of the effort went into this in order to make G2 more in depth.
Yeah.
And yes, it's totally just because she's a girl, as Ulti says. I am totally a sexist.
Well, you
I
are.
know.
I mean, /S. That's pretty much all I have to say. I enjoyed it. I don't know if any of you have anything else to add.
I think the only thing that I noticed other than that is that maybe I think it might have been a lighting issue, perhaps. But the note, like the shadow from like the sheet of the green screen that you were using, I think carried over a lot, and it was kind of distracting because it added some like black clutter there. It might be because the green screen wasn't like ironed out or something like that, and we were seeing the folds, but it was definitely something I noticed, and it was kind of strange to see so much of.
Totally right. But other than that, it was cool. I had a lot of fun, and I encourage everybody to go check it out and support the project because it is ongoing. He has a season 2 audition topic up right now, which I will also link in the description.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to make season 3 as well. Now, answer me this, Prentice. Are you going to conclude the story the right way? Are you going to do your own conclusion and expand on the ending of Journey to One and stretch it out into like a full story?
Is there a prophecy involved
Oh,
that
God.
foretells
That'd
the
be
entire
cool.
thing?
I mean, the prophecy of light could have been well done.
Yes, prophecy.
Machara, you've seen Journey to One, right?
Yeah, a while ago.
All right. Cool.
Same.
Just making sure, because not everybody has. But, all right. That is it. Everybody go check out Bionicle Reiterated. I'm going to link everything in the description below. And thank you to Prentice1215, our new moderator, longtime fan, for being the
Mod
last
squad.
person to pledge to
Represent.
that project promotion tier. It was very much appreciated, and the project is very appreciated as well, helping keep Bionicle alive and flourishing.
Woo!
That is going to be how we end this episode of TTV Cannibalism, and then Bionicle Reiterated. I figure next week if we could have any time. Cannibalism Reiterated.
Ethics reiterated.
We'll probably talk about RSG at some point because, as I mentioned, that
Definitely.
is a thing. For now, though, you go check out their mask store. Some are hits, some are misses, but I am always a sucker for 3D printed masks, and I love them to death, and will probably buy some very soon. So, all right. That's going to be all for TTV episode 290. As always, every week, I like to give a special patron shout-out to one of our new patrons. I think this week, I am going to give it to... Actually, you guys pitched me someone.
How's about a returning patron? An individual who left because they didn't feel like we were worthy of the support, but then returned because they're interested in being back and listening and supporting, and I think that says a lot.
Little did they know, we're still not worth supporting.
Wait, no, oh, stop! I'm actually talking about one of the individuals behind RSG, Matanui 606.
Mata.
Welcome back, Matanui. We
Welcome
awoke
back.
you. Now, please don't be Buddha in disguise.
Awoken.
Cue
Don't
the music!
stab anyone. Oh wait, no problem.
All right, thank you guys for watching. So loud. TTV 290.
My ears.
I'm...
I'm Eljay!
Phweffie.
Phweffie!
I'm Invi.
Deadmatoro!
And see you all next
Cue the music!
another exciting episode. Oh my God, bro.
Grand sound.
Stop this bad.
Surround sound.
Make it go far, then come close, then go far.
Bye!
Bye.